when I decided to try to do a YouTube channel, I knew that, I mean, as much as I love bottle digging, you can't find a bottle dump on cue and find interesting things and just keep showing, look what I found, look what I found, look what I found. As fun as that is, obviously, but I really wanted to kind of emphasize or concentrate on the interesting people and the interesting adventures you can have really close by, like within minutes from your own house, which is one of the coolest things about bottle digging. You have these things buried right up the road. But anyways, I woke up Monday morning and I had a few hours and I was going to stay in bed because I was really cozy. It was really cold outside, and then I decided against that. I think of some people that can't walk or in a wheelchair or whatever, and so I try not to take advantage of a day if I can help it. And it popped into my head. I remembered this place down in Essex, Massachusetts, which is just 45 minutes away, where they build boats by hand using all like they call it heritage methods, I guess. Hand tools and chisels and whatnot, and they build and restore old boats. And I'd been down there with Ben because there was a bottle dump there in the mud, and it was more like mudlarking, you know, looking for stuff that's washed up in the tide. And
to wake in the early morn to the sound of the old foghorn.
Decided to go back there, and also I had found out that this boat building place had worked on the original old Ironsides boat from the early 1800s, USS Constitution.
When I lived on the old Cape shore.
I wanted to go down there and go bottle digging, and I also wanted to find out if that was true. And it'll be hard to tell from the video, but they had worked on parts of the restoration of the USS Constitution, and one of the guys that worked there had worked on the USS Constitution doing some of the renovations over the years. But just seeing the boatyard and the tools they use, and it wound up being really cool, and I wound up being so glad that I hadn't just laid in bed, because I wound up meeting a couple of guys and just the interaction, and didn't find bottles that day. And so I kind of took some liberty. I've got some old clips from before I was doing YouTube channels of just finding bottles in the mud, in inlets in the same area, Cape Ann, Massachusetts, Ipswich, Essex, where this boatyard is, Salisbury, Mass, that area. I do a lot of bottle digging in those inlets that have a high and low tide. You know, low tide opens up trash sometimes. Anyways, tried to put this together. I hope you enjoy it. I had a great day. It wasn't a wasted day in bed, and that's kind of something I really try to do with my life, because there's adventures out there waiting to be had all around you if you look for them. So I hope you enjoy this.
I'll sing you a song, it's a song of the sea. Row me bully boys, row. Oh, I'll sing you a song if you'll sing it with me. And it's row me bully boys, row. And it's row me bully boys, we're in a hurry boys, we got a long way to go. And we'll sing and we'll dance and bid farewell to France. And it's row me bully boys, row.
Related, and right down, I lucked out. I should have checked the tide made sure it was low because it's high tide. You can't find anything in the mud, but it appears to be, I'll call it semi-low, low tide. I'm looking at it flowing over there, and it's flowing out to sea, which means this spot here will get lower than it is right now if I wanted to dig or play in the mud. I'm gonna go ahead and walk down here because I came down here by myself a couple of years ago, and then I think it was last year I came back with Ben, and we found some pretty cool bottles. We found some really cool bottle shards. There you go. That extra thing. Now I got permission to dig here. It was 2 years ago, so it's kind of one of those waning permissions, and you might get yelled at, "Get out of there!" And then you're like, "Well, somebody told me I could dig here." I'm so bummed. I can't believe I left my digging tools in the boat. What a dink. I don't know, am I gonna go buy a potato rake? They'd have clam rakes around here. A knucklehead. It's Monday morning, so I'm not in full gear yet. The guy said I could dig down there, so I gotta poke around with something, see what I can get. You working on a ship part right now?
Working on a cradle to take that one out of the water.
I see.
Make a movie?
YouTube.
YouTube. What's the YouTube about?
Well, I dig old bottles, but while I'm digging old bottles, I come across spots like this, and when somebody told me it was the USS Constitution or something related to the USS Constitution, I was like,
well, that's the deal. That's 100-something-year-old fishing schooner. But I don't know if there's ever many Navy boats up here.
yeah.
That's the main. That's from the 80s.
The 1880s?
1980s.
1980s.
That one's mine. It's from 1906.
That's a beauty. That's a beauty. Yeah. So is that a keel?
That is what you call a keel, yeah. The boat's the Sylvina W. Beale. We've been calling it the Sylvina W. Keel. It's gonna get...
Well, yeah, I'll let you get to work. I appreciate it.
Yeah, absolutely.
If you want me to leave messing around in the mud, just tell me, I'll go.
I don't care.
All right.
Not my place, though. Find it? No, that's a little... The one I'm looking for is about that long. Yeah. That's a big pipe.
So he says he's building a continuation of this ramp so he can pull his schooner up the ramp and dry dock it, I guess. Let's see if we'll get a closer look at that thing. He said it's a keel to a really early boat. So unfortunately, this is what I have to dig with. I've got a shovel and a stick. That's the other end of my potato rake that I chopped down to make them shorter. When we dug down here, we found a lot of bottles of that vintage. And this one's just laying here. This is pretty cool. I've seen these before. Look at that toxic chemical go ahead and yell at me and like, whoa. Just want to see what this says. Cream. D-sal. Slade's salad cream. Huh, I wouldn't have guessed that contained salad cream. I don't know what salad cream is. I'm assuming salad dressing, like a creamy dressing. I would guess that's about 1920-ish. Because it's pretty old. It's kind of Art Deco style. This little hole is still here that I dug, and I found a piece of a what's that one? Grove Bitters, Orange Grove Bitters side panel in there, but you're like digging through.
What should I do?
You know, so obviously there's old stuff here. There's old stuff going back to the 1600s here, but probably pulverized and.
Maybe I'll mess around on the motor for a bit.
I mean, looking at that, you think it's a dump, but it's rocks like that. So, and they're boulders. They're not like little rocks you can pull out, or even medium-sized rocks. So we were digging in between the it's a pretty old piece there. A couple of nice early necks. And I know on video this probably looks like just dig, but we just dug and came back with maybe a handful of, you know, bottles like that, and that one Orange Grove Bitters shard. And the way on these inlet type things where it's tidal water, what you do is, what I do is just come back every year in these tides, especially if there's a storm. The water rushes in from the sea and pushes all this up and eases it back out. And sometimes, you know, you might find a marble or something, you know, a nice old one. I'm gonna poke in there with my shovel and see if I can open anything up that's diggable. Then I'll try to, I'm gonna walk, I think first I'll walk up and get up to that keel, because that was a cool looking one that guy told me about. Oh, there's a hole in my boot. So my right foot is getting cold and wet. There's something right there. Wouldn't that be cool if that was a blacking bottle? But it's a blacking bottle, but not a Stoddard blacking bottle. It was clear or maybe light aqua. You can see what a tease it is. This does, if it's a real low tide, this wet area dries up so that you can walk on the flat mud. That's a little easier. But when it's high tide, the water would be up to here, you know, up to like those rocks there. And I would be up to my shoulders right now, so I'm happy to be able to get this. But let's check this out. That's the front of this keel. God, that's so cool. He said it's called, they renamed it from the, what did he say, the Skeel or something is its real name, but they just call it the SS Keel because it's all that's left of it, and they're going to rebuild it using this keel. Wouldn't I like to see that? That's a long one. Was that 10, 20, 30, 40, maybe 60 feet? 60 foot schooner, I think he said. Fishing schooner. I saw a bottle. Alright, back up. I know I saw a bottle. No, just that stupid. Sorry, didn't mean to call him stupid. That's not what we're after. This is kind of soft where I am here. I could dig in this mud with my shovel. It looks like a globe that wouldn't have gone, you know, a candy globe that would have gone on top of a countertop, maybe. In the general store, filled up with candy, maybe. There's an old piece. Just so you know, I'm working hard on trying to improve my camera work and not mumble so much. I'm just so used to being by myself and mumbling to myself out in the woods, but that's a nice piece. Look at the angle on it. It's like it would have been an 8-sided platter or something. What the heck is that? Oh, it's screwed up, but I'll take that home. That's pretty. Ooh, that's very cool. I thought it was just an unembossed, you know, that is pretty cool. I don't know how old it is. I don't really know what it is. I know it's not. It's got Anchor Glassworks, I think. I've never seen that before. That's pretty cool. Somebody would like this for sure. 1920 with the screw top. It's really cool. It's like an embossed floral pattern with diamonds. It's really pretty. I think this was part of a soap dish. That's my guess. What do I know? Also, I'm trying not to breathe so heavily into the camera, but it's like you gotta hold it close enough to hear me say something. Look at that freaking timber. That's a monster. Oh, it's beautiful. But if I have the phone close to my face, then you hear. And it's not impressive at all, I know. A lot of trash up here. Again, this is. I could use a pitchfork to get down through it, but we did put a lot of time in here, and I was with a very good digger, and neither of us could really come up with anything whole, but it was just so interesting. I wanted to come back and look and also see if anything had washed up of interest. And that green thing is pretty cool. I wonder what that is, because I don't think it's poison. Like, why would you have a poison bottle that's all decorative like that? A lot of times when it washes up and back, it's these crevices down here. You can see a bottleneck sticking out that wasn't there before. I mean, part of why I'm not talking loud is because those guys are right up there and I don't want them distracted by me sounding like I'm talking to them. Because I think they got better things to do today. They look pretty busy. So cool watching them work with, you know, just the sledgehammers and pry bars and hand saws. I haven't heard one electric tool used yet. I'm sure they do, but that's a dog bone, a punctual dog bone. I'm gonna head out. Oh, he's got the mass hidden behind it. I don't know if that's the same one. No, what am I talking about? That looks like. No, those aren't old. Obviously. But that thing sure is. That's so cool. Just broken shard. I'll come back here with somebody with full tools and gear and see if we can get a big hole going and see if that makes any difference. We did last time and it didn't make any difference. We really couldn't get any pocket of bottles. It was all shards of just little interesting things that survived in between. Typically the things that survived were on the newer side, but if there's old shards and whole bottles, there could certainly be an old ink bottle hiding down here, and they're not going anywhere. So I'm gonna bring my shovel. I think I left it back there. Yeah, what a cool green one. Probably 1920. I'd rather it was 1820. But what the heck? How long you worked here?
I don't really work here. I just got my boat here. He helps me and I help him.
I got you. That's the way to do it.
Working in boat stuff for like a year.
What an environment.
What's that?
What an environment. It's like you go back in time a couple hundred years.
Yeah, it's fun.
I was just saying I haven't heard a power tool going yet. I'm just hearing
Power tools.
well, I won't tell them.
Yeah, don't tell that.
All I heard was,
It's all heritage, traditional. No power tools. No.
is it?
You don't use any hand tools, right?
I just saw you with the sledgehammers earlier and the pry bars.
Power equivalent.
I appreciate you chatting.
Give me a hand out of it.
Of course. Whoa.
Got a bad back?
No, it just looks to know I'm stuck in the.
Well, asking if you do, I wouldn't ask you to do this.
I've got a typical old guy back, but it's fine.
It'll be good YouTube content.
We'll see. I'm not good at it yet, so I'm probably taking a picture of the sky right now.
So what I need you to do, I'm gonna hold this up, and you just have to, I need to hold this up so this can slide under it.
Okay, so hold on your end.
Yeah, so I'm gonna hold this up and just push this, use this
I got you.
bar to push it over. You can get it to push over so it stays. Stick it. I might have done it. You get the measurement. What's the hold that on there. That's 57.
Another inch.
See what this is. It's not square, it'll drag the button. Got it.
That works.
Yeah, I think so. Cool. What's the YouTube?
It's Down East Digger. The
Down East Digger. Okay, that's easy.
And I dig old farm dumps and
Ah,
culverts full of 1800 trash.
you find lots of cool stuff here, but none of it's trash. We need it all. All gets put back in the box. Okay.
You don't have he didn't have bottles kicking around it. He doesn't know how old they are.
Probably not bottles.
Yeah.
Glass gets thrown out. Anything bronze you find though,
Yeah.
toss to us.
Yeah, I scuba dive for them too, and sometimes I'll find brass propellers. Not very often, but
Oh yeah.
I've only found I think 3.
If you find anything good like that, you can let us know. Take props.
That sounds good.
He's a scuba diver. I want to learn.
Is he?
Yeah.
So he can work on the hulls
Yeah.
and stuff? Yeah.
Exactly.
I friggin' hope this camera's on. I'll point it somewhere near where I was. A big piece of brass attached. Well, that's part of this rigging, so I'm not going to touch it. I want to stay on good terms with these people. It's pretty interesting. Pretty interesting place.
Wandering. What brings you up here wandering through the mountains?
I go all over New England looking for antique bottles, mostly like this, you know. And this was an ideal spot. I go do scuba diving and looking for them, and I came down here a couple of years ago, and they told me about this place.
We try not to have people go through here.
I don't blame you.
I don't know if this butter is any better.
Could you use more bits like that? I think I got about 6 of them that I'm not going to use.
We use a lot of different things.
Yeah. Well, if I come back down, I'll leave it here on the thing.
Yeah, well,
Take
don't
'em.
leave it on here. It won't be any good after a very short while.
Oh, okay.
That'll take it. Okay, Tucker, don't bend it. Hang it in there. There's your whacker. See how you do.
I'll make sure that everybody knows you're not allowed down here.
Yeah, no, we try to keep everybody out of here just because there's too much stuff to get
No, you don't even.
tangled up on.
You don't have to explain.
Yeah, there's a sign over there. The town doesn't want anybody down here either. Like it. Yeah, we.
Oh, cool. I'll get out of your hair.
No, you're not here, but
All right.
yeah, nice to meet you.
You
but,
too.
Trying to think of where it's a good spot to go bottle hunting around here that isn't here. Can't think of one, but
Some of
are you
these-
from up in New Hampshire? Or
I'm in Elliott, Maine,
Elliott.
but it's only an hour or so from here.
You ever know Nate Piper?
Piper?
Yeah, he had Piper Boat Works, but he had a house in Elliott.
I know Steve Piper. I don't know if he's related.
Who else is up there?
Where was
Nate
his?
Greeley, I think, lives up there, and Paul Rollins is a boat builder. Friend of mine up there.
There's a lot of
Stop
Rollins.
hitting yourself. Come on, Tucker, you can't go hitting yourself.
There's a lot of Rollins is up there.
Yeah. What am I doing wrong? You want me to do it?
What was the name of the boat company up there?
Well, it's Paul Rollins, boat builder. Gotta hit it square.
I think he's banged in a few of those over the years, I think.
A couple. We got our measurement. Check our measurement. Make sure we haven't moved it. This is our last chance.
Let me get the diagonal.
Diagonal 57.
I would have snapped that 5 times by now. I use those bits to tap my maple trees, and I think I got 3 of them in the trees up in my back. Broken off, stuck in there. I don't want to jinx them. I don't want to push my luck. You sliding that thing out today or some other day?
Take over. What's that? Alright. You need a tape measure, and I'll go find us a couple more pieces of wood.
You, you're using the ramp today or some other day?
What's that? Some other day. Not today.
Not today?
57, you said? Yep. 6 foot.
So he says he has to get it really straight, otherwise the thing collapses when they push the boat on it. So that measurement has to be real close.
6'6" is even better. Wider? I'll go find a piece of wood. Yeah.
Hey, thanks, buddy.
Yeah, absolutely. It's a good video.
Well, that was way cooler than I thought. That was so fun.